Hit 'em low. Hit 'em high. 1, 2, 3. Come on, Vince.
You were a little
Hit
bit
'em
ahead.
high and watch our eagles fly. Fly, eagles, fly on the road to victory.
Taylor, do the chant.
E-I-G-L-E-S,
Eagles.
Oh my God, we got to put it like an audio warning for headphone users. before this
NFC
episode.
Championship week from the Nosebleeds. By the way, it's going to be very difficult for the Niners to come in here in 50-degree beautiful weather at the link for the 3 o'clock game. So that's on the table. The weather factor is on the table still because they're used to like 80 degrees. You know, Jimmy Garoppolo's taking his
Never been to San Francisco.
Jimmy Garoppolo's taking his porn star girlfriend out to eat, which is bizarre, by the way. But welcome
I don't
into
think
from the
I
Nosebleeds.
don't think he has a porn star.
No,
girlfriend.
he does. He
did at one point.
No,
He did at one point,
No,
yeah.
he was
One
very
date.
recently.
Yeah, no, porn star Jimmy. I know all about that.
He was
but
very recently pictured again with her.
which one?
I don't know. She's got like
Oh,
fake
you know you
everything.
liar.
No, I don't. I'm not big into
I'm
like
pretty sure
the
I
porn
know
star names.
I know what you're talking about, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that's like years ago.
Well, either way, I mean, he's
Taylor, he doesn't want to know their names. He
he's-
just wants to be shamed.
he's going to be a non-factor anyway this week because
He's
he
not
can't
playing.
play.
Well, 'cause
I mean,
Brock Purdy's
and
better.
Yeah, but I was told that Jimmy G he's going to be ready for the NFC Championship game if they make
yeah,
it.
as a backup,
Yeah, but I mean, I don't even think he's active.
they would never in a million years play Jimmy G.
Yeah, why would they play a veteran guy that knows what he's doing that has playoff experience over Brock Purdy, who
Well, I
never
mean,
played in a
dude,
big game
you
in his
don't-
life?
You don't stop. I mean, listen, I think that before we even talk about the game, I think Brock Purdy's going to fold like a lawn chair in the link.
He's going to pull a Kirk Cousins.
Let's
you think?
also not act like Jimmy Garoppolo wouldn't do the same thing.
Oh no, he's trash too. But before we get started, Vince, welcome back into the studio.
Hello. Nice to be here.
That chair has been empty. It's like, you know when somebody dies, like a broadcaster dies, they'll show the like when Harry Cowles died, they showed like the empty chair and they put like the little rose petals and they draped it in black.
Honestly, I didn't know they did all that.
Oh, they do all of that and more.
You're like the only person that knows they do all that.
I pay attention to minor details. It's part of the condition I have, I guess. Whether it's a good condition or bad condition, I don't know, but it's a condition.
Did you guys lay out flowers and roses and candles?
No,
for
but but I did think about doing it. Like the thought was there, and I would glance over there and be like, "Oh man, that kind of sucks," because we just have better chemistry when we're in the same room. Like, can you imagine if like for example, like Merrill Reese, who by the way, never mind, Merrill Reese and Mike Quick are doing
what
a
was
game.
that about?
They're both doing a game, right? And one's like broadcasting the game live from like their studio in Fox Chase, and Merrill's just there by himself.
Like Quicks and
like-
Fox
Yes,
Chase?
because
No,
94
probably.
WIP has a studio in Fox Chase.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's not. It wouldn't be great chemistry. Like, there would be satellite delays, and Tower doesn't know how to like fix everything correctly.
Yeah, blame it
and-
on Taylor.
No, I mean, dude, the guy's like a computer science like genius supposedly, and he can't figure out how to get like satellites to work together. But
You can't
whatever.
even turn on a laptop.
That's true, dude. I've now broken 3 laptops in my life. But anyway, welcome back, Vince, and it's the perfect week for you to come back.
Yes, sir.
It's a big week for all of us as a group because we're going on a mini vacation together.
Yeah, we are, and we'll talk about that eventually.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to let them know. That's why, like, we're all together because we're gonna have to get used to each other. like
Yeah.
I've never.
Yeah, because we're not used to each other.
I
already.
haven't lived with Vince like for like a couple days since like Wildwood, and that was a different Vince. Like that was an absurd Vince. Like that Vince was absurd, and it was an absurd and obese Seamus. So these are different times. Like we're both like in better phases of our lives, except for the alcoholism.
I don't know if I'm in a better phase of my life.
I think you are. I think you look better. You smell better, but more importantly,
All right,
You know the
for
Whopper song.
you probably
yeah.
you probably fuck better. Like if I were to guess, because
Come on,
you
dude.
get better
Come
with
on.
No, Vince, it's fine. You get better with experience. Back then, maybe it was a little, pretty like 2-3 seconds. Now it's up to 40-50. But Sarah's going to join us in the next hour
Yeah,
too
thank you so much. for this.
to confirm or deny.
All right, I'm
You want to
gonna
talk about the football game?
Yeah. So Saturday,
We missed you, Vince.
I missed
Yeah.
you guys too.
We watched the game together without you because we don't like you.
Well, I didn't show up.
Hopefully we'll be. I know you're going to the game, which by the way, awesome. I hope
Yeah.
that the rest of us will be watching the game together. But anyway, the Giants came to the link on Saturday, and it went about.
sure?
It went even. Yeah, I don't know if they were actually there. It went even better than any of us expected it to.
Mhm.
I agree with that.
We had the 5-year
It
anniversary
was the
of
5-year
38-7.
and
and
we had 38-7.
and we had that score.
We did it again.
Oh.
Like, do you think that's got to be an omen?
Oh,
I choose to
100%.
look at that as an omen.
Oh, I love to see it, dude.
right?
I mean, that's such a specific score. You have to. it's a little nice coincidence.
Yeah,
gives
absolutely.
you some
Football
gives you some-
gods.
Yeah.
Speaking of good omens, before we get into the game real quick, McGillen's in Center City, they're doing the green beer like they did for the first time in
Yeah.
2017-18 with the NFC Championship game back then against the Vikings. They're doing it again for this NFC Championship game and all week. That's also a good omen. So whatever you were doing back then, Eagles fans, like 2017, 2018, January 2018, do it now.
Yeah, I'm
Like-
gonna break back into my college house to watch the
Yeah,
Super
break
Bowl
back
there.
in there. If you've been going to the
I
same
think I was
bar,
drinking Four Locos
go
back
there.
then.
if you
Oh, it
have
looks like we're doing sidewalk slammers. for the
honestly,
Super
man,
Bowl.
I'm not against like calling up like ex-girlfriends and boyfriends and being like, hey, listen, we got to do it one more time for the birds. Like, I hate you, you hate me, like Barney, but
Yeah, let me get my ex-girlfriend
yeah.
to come watch it at my old
Yeah, and-
college
hey,
house with me.
Oh, by the way, I think she would actually do it because she's so insane and never liked her, to be honest with you, but that's neither here nor there.
This was all just
It all comes out.
Yeah, this whole conversation was just a roadmap to get Seamus to that point.
No, she was fine, but, Anyway, let's break down
Yeah.
Daniel Jones.
So
Daniel Jones.
again, I made a point last week, about how annoying and we all agreed how annoying it was the national media sucking the dick of Daniel Jones and acting like he was elite because he tore apart the 31st ranked defense in the NFL. Like, congratulations, dude. Any starting caliber quarterback in the NFL should be able to do such a thing. What did we all say? He would come into the link, face a defense that isn't 31st ranked, that's full of studs, and he would fold, and he did exactly that.
No, he folded like a lawn chair, as we often say about Kirk Cousins. I mean, that would.
He put on his best Kirk performance.
I was going to say, if anybody like tried to imitate Kirk Cousins in a big moment, that was Daniel Jones doing it,
Or Dak Prescott.
and it was pretty
we'll
good.
talk about that
we'll get
later.
into that disaster later.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, ceiling way higher for Daniel Jones than it is for Dak Prescott in my book. But we'll get.
I mean,
not really.
I think
but,
I
but Daniel
unironically
Jones
think
at least is more likable.
I
than
unironically
Dak.
think the floor for Dak might be lower though.
Yeah.
I think Dak's floor and ceiling are both higher and lower than Daniel Jones is more mid, whereas Dak can have great moments and look like the worst quarterback ever.
But
I mean, at least Daniel Jones has the running going.
Yeah,
for
he
him
has
too.
running.
But here's the thing about that game. It wasn't close.
Ever. The game was
ever.
over at the end of the
game
first
was-
quarter.
The game was over at the end of the first quarter.
I'll tell you when. This is when I knew the game was over. The Eagles open up, which by the way, them losing coin tosses has been a saving grace, so that they have
Yeah,
the
because they
ball
always
fir-
defer.
They always defer. Whereas
With
it seems
Sirianni,
like
your boy Sirianni lied about that, by the way. He's like, well, yeah, we always take that into consideration.
Yeah,
No, you don't. It's an automatic.
it does seem better that when they have the ball first, because obviously the first couple plays, it's like a 50-yard bomb to Devontae, and then that with a touchdown catch by Dallas. And then I knew the game was over when the Giants decided to go for 4th and 8. I forget exactly where it was on the field, but like, dude, Brian
It was
Daboll.
literally at like midfield.
Listen, we're gonna talk about Brian Daboll later in the show.
Yeah.
But he's a great coach. I can completely admit that. I liked him.
Looks
he's
like
fine.
a Christmas ornament.
But why the fuck did he think going for it that early was a good idea? Like
I just think at that point they really don't have anything to lose.
but like it's 7-0 in the first quarter, your first possession, and you're kind of waving a white
he
flag.
was being aggressive.
I think
Fourth
what he was
and-
trying to do there was literally like set the tone, and he just failed.
4th and
miserably.
8's just too
It
long.
backfired, and you can't really set the tone with Daniel Jones out there.
But also 4th and 8 is just far too long.
Yes.
If
I
it
agree
was
with
within
that.
4th and 5, like 4th and 5, 4th and 4, 3, 2, something like that, go
Yeah.
for it. Yeah. 4th and 8 is a little absurd.
And then you're just giving our explosive offense a short field. It's like that's just
Exactly.
fucking
And they should have
stupid.
learned from Kirk Cousins the week before going for it on 4th and 8 with a little shovel pass. It's like,
Yeah,
well,
I
what
mean,
the
to
hell
be
are you
fair-
doing?
To be fair, the game was on the line for Kirk in that
Yeah.
situation, so he's gonna do that.
Yeah, but I
true.
mean,
yeah, and
He's
he's
just
going to
made a
fail.
horrible decision.
Let's-
Yeah, and he
let's-
did fail.
Let's talk about the most important aspect of the game right off the bat. Jalen Hurts.
Minshew minutes. Oh,
Oh, yeah, yes. Well, but of course, besides those minutes.
Mania.
dude, I was thrilled.
brother.
I've never been more thrilled to see him in my entire
I
life.
know, same.
But Jalen, obviously the last time we saw Jalen play was Week 18 against the Giants after missing 2 weeks, and he looked rusty, as we all expected. And there was a lot of talk, about how he would look. Would he be 100%? And we all said, he doesn't need to be 100%.
No.
At this point in the NFL season, no player is. And he looked about as close to 100% as you can be without being maybe like 95% of Jalen Hurts. I mean, he ran. I thought he was a little bit smarter with his running, getting down, getting out of bounds. Maybe a little later in the game, he took a couple hits that he shouldn't have, but like nothing to write home about. His arm looked great. No complaints at all. He didn't have to throw the ball too much. What was it, like 23 attempts?
Yeah.
The running game was really where the the offense stood out. The offensive line, obviously, just amazing.
Just
Lane
unbelievable
Johnson
all year.
Lane Johnson came right back in and looked like he never left. He looks completely
He didn't
fine.
even look like he was hurt. Like
No,
he was
no.
just out there, literally just shutting everyone.
I mean,
down.
he hasn't allowed a QB hit, pressure, or sack in 2 or 3 seasons or something like that.
It's unbelievable.
So he is just incredible. It's so great that he looked as good as he did because he's such an important part. The record without him speaks for itself.
oh, absolutely.
And Kenny Gainwell,
Oh,
Kenny G,
Turning
a
them
game of his
legs,
life
dude.
out of nowhere.
134 yards.
you know what sucks
Or
though?
something like 114, something like
I
that.
do feel bad for Miles Sanders because all the running, all the
No.
rushers, he looked amazing in that game, and all the other rushers got a touchdown besides him.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny.
Oh, it
else
kind of
is
sounds
new?
like last year.
Yeah, what else is new?
Miles had a legitimately amazing game. I thought he ran the ball excellent. Kenny Gainwell had the game of his life. And then, Boston Scott is like Thanos. He is inevitable against the Giants, which it's so funny. Like,
you saw Wing Martindale's comments about that. Oh, just because you does well against the Giants doesn't mean he's a Giants killer.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's
That's
exactly what that
exactly
means.
what it means.
yeah.
You goddamn fool.
I love Nick Sirianni, I guess, like buying into the bit and giving Boston the ball on the goal line because, like, you have to.
he did
Yeah.
that for us.
I think my favorite tweet in the immediate aftermath of the game was something I think Pat sent in the group chat, and it was a Giants fan page tweeting that their number one free agent prospect was Boston Scott because they can't keep taking it anymore.
That would be the equivalent of us. Like, remember when we signed DeMarco Murray? That
Yeah.
would be the same.
Dude,
God.
he is so
Shout
Boston
out to Chip
Scott.
Kelly. He made it
Boston
work.
Scott might be more committed to this bit than any player's ever been committed to a bit ever.
I thought it was hilarious what he said. He was like, God must have a good sense of humor because he puts a little guy like me out there as a Giants killer. I was like, dude, I love this little guy.
Yeah, it's David and Goliath.
Yeah,
dude.
David and Goliath.
No,
How
but
about
he
that?
looked good. I mean,
That's a fake story, by the way.
that's
A lot of people don't know that.
he looked fine. Like he only had like what 4 or 5 rushes, something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is very funny because like I would imagine Nick Sirianni had to have put him in there for
Yeah.
the bit.
Sirianni.
I mean,
Like,
he literally had like 30 yards and a touchdown. Like,
Yeah.
But I'll take it, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't even know. Oh, the other big aspect of the game is Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick
Monster.
is a
Demon.
fucking beast,
Hassan
man.
Reddick greater than Micah Parsons.
Obviously.
Unironically, yes.
I mean, if
Like
we're being real.
he had a better season statistically speaking, and just like the eye
Surely
test.
he finished as a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy that Chris Jones and
Well, Chris Jones is
Micah-
very good.
don't get
Yeah,
me wrong,
but he hasn't
is.
been balling the
but
way fucking Hassan
Listen,
has.
it should for DPOI. I do agree that Nick Bosa should get it for the record.
Absolutely.
But I 100% think that Hassan Reddick is number 2.
You
and
know,
then
you know
Micah
what I really
Parsons.
wish? I really wish that you could do like the NFL, the league could do like a background check on like where people stand politically because the Bosa brothers would just be completely ruled out for any award.
Where were they on January 6th? No,
Uh,
I'm kidding. But
I believe they were in
watching
DC.
Hassan
I don't
Reddick
think
is
they
like
were in the playoffs.
They
we
were
haven't-
burning down the White House.
when was the last time we had an edge rusher like as good as Hassan Reddick? Like I know we've had
Josh Sweat.
we've had great ones. Josh Sweat is amazing, but Hassan Reddick
No,
is
I know.
like cut from that cloth. Like
He's
he
a
is
monster,
top
dude.
tier
Built
right now.
different. He's got
He's-
40 sacks.
yeah.
or
And
something
Vince,
over
you
the
were
last
wearing the
3
Reddick
seasons.
jersey on Saturday
and I
night.
plan on wearing it again
That's
this week.
a
because,
very strong move.
Listen, I have to run it back now. We dominated
you-
the playoff
you
game in
have
that
to wear
jersey,
that.
so I have to
You
wear
have
that
to wear
one
that. In
again.
fact, you might have to bring it up the mountains.
Or
You-
rocking,
you-
I am.
and you might
because-
have to wear it.
rocking the number 2 Hurts jersey again this
There
week.
you go.
Yeah, I'm
Got it.
rocking my Fletcher Cox fake jersey that Jack
Oh,
Baylock
dude,
gave
come on,
me.
mine are fake too. Don't
No,
get
but
it
his
twisted.
is like
No, but this is
his
like-
is like
Oh, I
egregiously
remember,
fake.
I
Yeah,
remember
mine's
now.
the
Silver.
one number is like it's like silver spray paint. It's pretty impressive at how bad it is.
Here's another point I have written down here. First of all,
First off,
Bradbury.
Oh.
Sorry, Bradbury.
phenomenal.
Bradbury
James
Jr.
Bradbury.
Yes.
The revenge game, baby. It was
you love to see
watching
that.
him get a pick on his old team
How
is
about
awesome.
how about the Eagles admin quoting the Giants releasing him
Yep.
tweet
Yeah.
saying thank you?
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't want to pay him, so
No,
hey,
they didn't
we'll-
want to pay him, and he
he's-
burnt them,
He's elite, man. He's one of the best corners in the league this year.
and he's going to get a
and-
bag somewhere.
I'm gonna
I hope he
continue.
takes a pay cut, man.
I'm gonna continue my bit.
We could just not sign Jalen.
Yeah, that's always an option.
I'm just saying. I'm just
Draft a
saying. Aaron
quarterback.
Rodgers is available. We happen to have 2 firsts.
I'm
Russell
gonna.
Wilson.
Ew.
Oh my God, let him cook. I'm gonna continue my bit of bootlicking and just say like that game being a dominant performance from Hassan Reddick and James Bradbury. Like Howie Roseman is him.
No, he is. Yeah, absolutely.
He
and
is-
Vince,
he
you've
is
been,
him.
You've been saying this for years now, and you were saying this at the point where a lot of the Philadelphia sports fans were anti-Roseman. They were sick of him. They wanted a new regime in.
I mean,
Especially after the Jefferson miss, people were
Yeah.
not high on him. They were
Which
very
I've always said is
unhappy.
terrible.
But you stood your ground. but you also acknowledge that, hey, listen, yeah, that was a miss, but look at what else he's done.
Yeah, I mean, literally in that same draft, Howie Roseman had maybe his worst move and his best move in the same draft because Jalen Hurts in the second round.
Absolutely.
But, dude, you saw the other day, someone said in the group chat, the 2018 draft, man, like, in that draft, you got guys like Dallas Goedert, you got Jordan Mailata in the later round, you got Avonte Maddox, Josh Sweat, obviously Matt Pryor being like the fraud in that class.
But these are all like core guys.
They are all starters on a team that is making a Super Bowl run
and Dallas
right now.
Goedert, he's a star at his
Dallas
position.
Goedert is a top 3 tight end.
Yeah,
in the league,
absolutely.
probably.
There's no doubt.
But like, yeah. So I just wanted to say, like, watching those two guys who came here in free agency dominate, it just made me think, like, damn, like, good shit.
No,
Howie.
and we are very lucky to have both Jeffrey Lurie as an owner, who's a phenomenal owner.
Anytime you
and
see
Howie
something
Roseman.
with the Cowboys happen, it just makes me thankful that we have an owner that is like, don't get me wrong, he's still involved, but he's way more hands off than Jerry Jones. Like Jerry Jones taking the field to talk to Brett Maher was absurd.
No, totally absurd.
Absurd.
And a bad look. And you know your guy's going through it.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's going to help? Which it didn't, by the way. I know that
Well, you have to remember.
that first kick was blocked.
Oh, it would have missed
but
anyway.
it would have missed by a pretty wide margin.
Jerry Jones is also the GM, not only
Yeah.
the owner.
Which is it's such
very
a
dumb.
it's such an
what,
overreach of power.
2015 Chip Kelly or whatever year it
Yeah,
was.
no,
2013, whatever year he took over.
Here's another thing I wanted to bring up. A lot of things were floating around the media. Obviously, aside from just Daniel Jones is suddenly elite, it was the Giants are one of the hottest teams in football right now.
Yep.
Coming into this game, the Giants had won 3 of their last 8, and those games were against the Colts, the Commanders, and the Vikings.
To be fair, that's hot for the Giants. They're not used to
like
this.
what? Like I get. Listen, I'm not even gonna go.
That's a
with I'm
run.
not gonna go with the cop out of like, oh, it's because they hate Philly. Where did this narrative of the Giants being hot come from?
I feel like it's
Because they beat one of the best teams in the league in the Vikings.
everyone. I said this last week. Every single fucking person of that isn't in Minnesota picked the Giants
You want
to
to know why
upset them
though,
anyway.
Vince? You know, we want to know
Except
why
Phil
it's such a big
Denzelbeck.
deal.
And we remember that,
it's
Phil.
such shout out Phil. It's such a big deal because first of all, it's a New York City team, right? Which plays in East Rutherford, so fraud.
Yeah,
but
a
it's
Jersey team.
But
yeah.
it's a New York team.
They're
and
built on a throne of lies.
Yes, they are. Jersey team, New York team, whatever
Jimmy
it
Hoff
is.
is buried under the stadium
Dude,
somewhere.
and the media wanted that story, that feel-good story with Daniel Jones and the loser Giants being suddenly resurrected by Brian Daboll and a new scheme, new philosophy that's working.
It's like,
they wanted the feel-good story, just like they want the feel-good Brock Purdy
They're
story
set
this
up
week
to be good
against
in
the Eagles.
like a couple years down the line, but like they're not hot right now. Like I just said, they won 3 of their last 8 against bad teams.
But by the way, for the Giants standard, hell of a season.
Yeah.
I mean, for their
I'm not trying to take anything away
and
from them.
where they were
I
last
didn't-
season.
Yeah, they had a good season. Winning a playoff game is still a big thing. I mean,
And not for nothing, Daniel Jones.
they
is
rarely do it.
Daniel
Something
Jones
Justin Herbert
is
still
is
hasn't
not
done.
good, right? He's not even close
get
to
to that.
being like very good. He's not any
No.
of those.
And
But
Giants fans,
he did take a small step forward this year.
Giants fans should be thanking the Eagles for exposing what they exposed in that Giants game because the Giants fans were a Daniel Jones good game, maybe even in a loss, but they were a good game away from signing him to an extension.
And they still
And
might do it.
If they
Oh,
do,
they
they're
will.
idiots
And they
because
still will.
he is
I
simply
think they
not
will.
good.
I think they will. Like, what are they going to do? Like,
You
draft
need-
another
yeah,
quarterback
dude.
and see what happens again?
Drafting Daniel Jones was a big mistake anyway. Like no one.
Aaron Rodgers is available.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
He will make Isaiah
cost-
Hoskins or whatever the hell his name is into a star.
He cost 2 first-round picks at the very minimum.
Oh, they should do it.
According
That'll
to
be
the
interesting
Jets
to follow.
report.
Listen, the Giants GM, whoever the fuck that is, he can make it happen, I'm sure.
Tom Coughlin?
Is it Coughlin?
No.
I was going to say, Jesus Christ, he's got to be dead by now.
He's gone.
I hated seeing those Eli games against the Eagles. Tom Coughlin
speaking
just
of-
looking like a weirdo.
Speaking of you bringing that up, Eli, just like real quick, I thought it was so funny, like him being at the stadium and like I've grown to respect Eli Manning because he like plays into the whole like Philadelphia thing with him and like he
And
knows
he's an enemy
he
of
knows
him.
it's all love at the end of the day. Like we love to hate him.
Yeah.
And he was talking about getting double birds.
He's not like on the Scott Rowland
Yeah.
we hate, level.
I thought it was so funny that they put him up on the jumbotron and he got booed, and they would put like Malcolm Jenkins on there and it would be cheers, and they put Eli back on, and
I
boos,
love when they do
and then
that.
they'd put back on whoever,
back
and it would
and
be
forth
cheer.
like
Yeah,
that. That
It
would
was
be like
very
from
funny.
the Nosebleeds if they put me on a jumbo shot and Taylor.
It's just-
I would get the cheers,
just
he would
cool.
get the boost.
Flip that. Flip that.
Nah,
It's just
To
cool
each
to
their own.
see.
You're getting booed out of the room.
to each their own.
It's just cool to see a person like be able to like play into it and like not be like
No,
a
absolutely. And
pussy
Eli's
about
a good sport. By the way, I think he realizes what his life is now. He's a multi-bajillionaire and like he's set for life.
And how could you not love him now with the Manning cast? I
Yeah, the
mean,
Manning
everyone
cast
loves
is
the Manning
phenomenal.
cast.
I mean, I don't like it.
Seamus
Really?
hates it because he doesn't like people that are bad commentators.
No, I just
Or
don't.
bad interviewers,
I just think
sorry.
it's boring. But to each their own.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
I mean, it's just two of them being idiots. It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
It's like this.
yeah, but
kind of. It kind of is. It's like a live podcast almost.
I think we should pull a Bell in the Bourbon next year and just like live stream the Eagles games, but just go crazy with it. Just like go absolutely nuts. Like just like talk about Brett Maher all night. And
Here's another point I had
You really
about.
love Brett Maher.
I do.
Another point I had about the game is
My kicker.
obviously the talent disparity will be brought up for this reasoning, but like Sirianni and Steichen coached a hell of a game.
And by the way, Steichen is getting acknowledgement from the national press.
Yeah.
They think that all the success of this season is directly as a result of Steichen.
Shout out
and
John,
not Nick
shout out John
Sirianni.
Barshard. I'm pretty sure John tweeted earlier something to the extent of, "I've never seen a team where everybody outside of Philly thinks neither the QB or the coach are responsible for the success."
That was
It is crazy. It's weird. People, but listen, let's call it what it is. People hate Nick Sirianni because he is eccentric. He is
He's
listen,
Italian.
Whatever. I know Seamus.
Seamus
I don't
hates
even know.
Nick
I don't even know.
Sirianni.
how you-
I don't hate him.
Yeah, but like
I don't even find anything wrong with that.
Beyond
I just think it's weird.
beyond you,
Seamus
people,
thinks he's a clown because he celebrates on the side.
People-
It is clownish.
It's not.
In my opinion, it is.
People hate him because he's. I mean, I guess he is your coach, so it's. This doesn't apply to you. People outside of Philly would love him if he was their coach. Like, I also just don't get it. Like, I saw people on Twitter like, he's being cocky, putting on the Dream Chasers chain. Like, dude, Mike McCarthy did that last week, and no one had anything to say. Why is no one talking about Mike McCarthy like fucking shoving a cameraman out of his way?
Because Mike
on
McCarthy
his
has
walk?
no drip, bro.
But no one's giving Mike McCarthy shit for shoving a cameraman out of the way on the way to the locker room. Instead,
You're acting like he pulled a Devontae Adams.
But I'm saying like there were two coaching things that happened this weekend. One was that, and one was Nick Sirianni like nodding at the camera, and everyone's outraged about that.
I'm not outraged about it.
No,
He
no,
looks
no,
like a fool.
I'm not talking about you, and I also
He looks weird. It's very bizarre.
Do that again.
That's a nice little clip for all the YouTube
You don't think
viewers.
that's bizarre?
no.
Would
he's
you do that?
What do you mean, Seamus?
Would you go like?
I do that all the time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't know what you mean. He's just celebrating.
He's literally just like there, like, let's fucking
But
go.
bro, I just think that like he would benefit from like just acting like he's been there before.
Seamus,
But he
this is,
hasn't.
this-
Yeah, I know, and
Wait,
it shows because he's immature.
This is quite literally the baseball purist
no, it's
80-year-old
not.
inside of you.
It's
Yes.
not that.
Yes, it is.
When you hit a home run, act like you've been there before, dude. You don't need the bat flip like that.
not true.
Not saying you
because
say
I'm
that.
pro bat flipping.
Yeah, but then why are you anti-celebrating on a football
I'm
sideline?
not anti it. I'm just saying nobody else around the league does it.
Then who cares? Be revolutionary.
Right, what
Be
do you
yourself.
mean?
That's not revolutionary, dude.
Seamus, how are you? How are you
But
saying?
you're saying nobody else
Dude,
does
if he
it.
gets his ass
Pete
kicked,
Carroll.
which is possible by the San Francisco
What?
49ers,
I
This
think
is
meant like
true.
actually
Pete
beat
This
Carroll.
is extremely true.
Pete Carroll has been around forever and is actually a legend and has some pedigree. Nick
So-
Sirianni doesn't.
But
So
Nick
you're not allowed
Sirianni
to-
has zero
So you're not
pedigree.
allowed to celebrate or show passion until you've won a Super Bowl.
Until you earned
No,
it,
I'm not saying
according to
you're not
Shaq.
that's
allowed.
basically what you just said. You
I'm
you
just
have a
saying, like,
pedigree.
at least be a veteran and then do that.
What?
That's
no,
all.
that's so
He's the
dumb.
He might not be a good
That's
coach.
such a stupid double
How do you know he's a
standard.
good
Seamus,
coach?
but he is right now. Why can't he
No,
celebrate
he is right
now?
now. Yeah, absolutely.
Celebrate while you can. What do you mean?
Let him celebrate then. Let him celebrate.
am.
I just think it's immature. That's all.
Davis doesn't like him.
No,
He doesn't.
I mean, first of all, he lies.
Just admit that you don't like him.
Wow.
What? But every word that comes out of his mouth is a lie to the press. It's all a
Who
lie.
cares?
Because it's supposed to be for us.
Fuck
He gives us false information.
Seamus, fuck us if it means it helps the team.
It doesn't help the team.
If them
Not
saying
being upfront about Jalen Hurts' injury
That was
last week and the
strange.
week before did not help
That's
the
actually
team.
great.
It did
yes,
not
it
help
does
the team.
because the Giants think he's coming in hurt.
No, they didn't. They didn't think that
How do
because
you
they
know?
knew that he didn't practice, but they assumed that they were doing. They know his gamesmanship.
I
shit.
just, you know what?
It's old. It doesn't work.
I guess the difference.
It's Nick Saban
the difference
shit,
between me and
which
you
does
is just
not
that I
work.
don't
It
care
does.
about the fucking media and the press. I don't
do.
care.
I care.
That's
I care
fine
about
that-
Reuben
Yeah,
Frank.
Seamus sucks them. all
I
the
care
time.
about Reuben Frank. Don't lie to Reuben Frank.
He's a big Philly media guy. We always
Nick
forget this
Sirianni
part.
don't lie to Big Rube.
Nick Sirianni is one of the young coaches in the NFL. Like, I'm not saying he's leading a charge, but like, yeah, like guys should be able to show emotion on the sideline.
Yeah, I think emotion is good.
the
Jumping up
locker
and
room-
down is a different story.
That is emotion. What do you mean jumping up and down happily is showing emotion?
Just be like, yay.
That's
Seamus,
so
be like-
dumb.
be like everyone
What
else.
inspires
Seamus,
players
yes.
more?
Can I ask you a question? Why do you
I
think
don't think
the
they
player
care about their head coach.
I
dude.
think they do.
Seamus,
No, they don't.
listen
No
to-
player cares
Every
about their head
single one
coach.
of those players has come out and said that they fucking
they
love
have
Nick Sirianni.
to.
No, they don't.
Dude, if you're 14 and
no,
3
they don't.
and
They
you
don't.
come out and say
You
I
don't come
hate
out-
our head coach,
You don't come out with the amount of like actual
You're just
passion
such
about
a brown
your
noser,
coach.
dude. About every single one. You
Seamus.
never criticize anybody in Philadelphia sports.
What?
No one, except for the Phillies, because you're a
And
casual.
the Sixers.
Well, you're a
Rivers.
casual
Doc
basketball
And
fan
the
too.
Sixers.
Because you're a casual basketball fan too.
You're-
You've never.
This is so funny.
You've never.
You can literally backtrack and document on this podcast when Seamus announced he was starting to watch basketball,
Okay.
and I'm suddenly casual.
Okay,
That's
Who
crazy.
said anything about me? I'm just saying.
You're talking about me.
Have you ever said one negative thing about the Eagles at all this season? Because there have been
What
negative
would I
things.
say negative this season when they had the best fucking
Brown
record in the
noser.
league?
Brown noser.
Why would I bring up? Why would I
Because
say
you
anything?
don't like the Phillies enough.
Right.
That's what it
What
was.
would I have to say
It
negative?
all stems. It all stems from the Phillies.
No, I'm just saying it's okay.
What negative would I have to say about the best team in the
I
league?
just don't like how you two gang up on me when you agree on something. Like, dude.
Because usually your take is horrendous.
No, it's not. It's with the majority of the country thing.
Fuck the
Yes,
country.
because they hate
No,
the Eagles.
no, dude. If you're in the minority on a topic like this, that means you're wrong.
Seamus, you realize
Oh
that
my
within your own
God.
fan base, you are in the minority,
Right.
right?
Dude, I'm talking
Most
about the
That's
entire
not-
country.
Fuck the
give a
country.
fuck about
All
the
the
rest of
Eagles
the
fans don't
country.
fuck with you because of your opinion on this.
Oh my God, I'm so scared of Eagles fans.
I'm not saying they're gonna beat you up.
Well, they couldn't. I mean, I can fight.
My point is, dude, Jason Kelsey came back
Oh my
to
God,
play.
Jason Kelsey is like literally their like mascot, pretty much. He's not going to say anything wrong.
Seamus, he came back to play because he liked the culture of Nick Sirianni so much. He could have retired.
That's what he said. Sure. Yeah.
So you're just being a conspiracy theorist.
no, take him at his word.
You're just being a conspiracy
my
theorist right
God.
now.
I think he
dude.
was offered a lot
You
of
are
money.
so strange.
Someone get the tinfoil hat out. for
Very
Seamus.
bizarre. Very.
Dude, all I'm saying is it's
Oh
okay
my
to
God.
criticize Nick Sirianni. That's where
Sure.
I stand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
but
you
he
don't
does
have to say,
something wrong.
but you don't have
What
to
has
say,
he done wrong?
You don't have to say, oh, you hate him, you hate him, you hate him.
You do.
What
No,
has he
I
done
don't
wrong?
hate him. I hate that he does that because I think it's weird.
But you
I don't hate
started.
him as a coach. I always say he's a good coach. I'm allowed to nitpick my head coach
so
that I pay when
5
I go to
minutes
the
ago-
fucking game. I pay him.
I don't think you're paying him.
No, I do pay him.
Jesus.
I help the team.
God.
I'm allowed to criticize
So
him.
I
5
pay
minutes.
your
wait,
taxes.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I do pay my
5
taxes,
minutes
Taylor.
ago, you said you're
Albert
not.
Darby's got all my goddamn
Seamus,
money.
5 minutes ago, you said you're not
Drexel Hill,
anti-celebrating, but here you are being extremely anti-celebrating. Just admit it. Just stand
No,
on
the
it.
way
no,
he
you're
does
being a
it is
coward.
cringe.
Just say you don't like it.
I don't like. Yeah, I
Then
don't like.
You're
it.
anti it. You are against
Yes,
it.
it. Absolutely.
Yeah, it.
Yes.
A big part of who he is as a person.
As a person,
Yes, clearly that is a big
he's
part.
more of like, let's go to Pizza Hut. That's him as a person, which I'm fine with, by the way. I'm fine with the Pizza Hut. See, you don't look at the things that I accept. I accept the Pizza Hut. I accept the Little Caesars. I sort of accept the
Little Caesars?
bringing the little kid in the press conference, which is weird. I accept that.
You are such a media purist. Oh, he better give all the correct answers and not bring fuck the media. Who
Fuck
cares?
the media, dude.
We're the media, Seamus? No, we're not. We're a bunch of assholes
no,
with a podcast.
Dude, the media is supposed to ask the coach questions.
And if the coach-
for the fans, not for them.
So wait,
then why
do you
does-
hate? Do you hate Bill Belichick and the way he answers
yes,
questions?
obviously.
Seamus, if it's for the fans, why do all
As
the
a coach,
should
he's
be-
great.
Have you ever noticed all the
Just like I hate Sirianni, how he acts like a buffoon out there.
Have you ever noticed
But I like
that
him as a
lar-
coach.
a large majority of Philadelphia
can be
A
true.
large majority of Philadelphia sports fans don't even fucking like the media.
No, I mean, listen.
You're in the minority on that too.
I don't
Most
like
of-
the media. I don't like the
But
media.
unless Nick Sirianni gives them 100% honest answers, you're gonna be mad
I
about
mean,
it.
it's just this. And Jalen, I mean, God, it's like talking to a robot. I just wish they would show more emotion.
Wait.
Talking
Wait,
to the press.
wait.
Talking to the press.
I almost just
Why?
walked off.
Why? There's a time
You
and
want
place.
more emotion?
Time and place. There's a time and
Seamus
place.
said
You want less emotion?
He said emotion.
What is happening?
Emotion
There's
in
a
the
time and place.
the time and place for the emotion is in the press conference room and not on the field.
You're a
Yes.
fucking idiot.
Yes.
Hey, yo, please, if
you're
you're
an
listening to this
absolute
podcast
fucking
right
idiot.
now,
If you're listening
tweet
to
at
the podcast,
Seamus and tell him-
610-632-0975.
yeah, first of all, your ears are bleeding. But dude,
Go to the
so
doctor.
you just said there's a time and place for emotion, and to you, it's in the press conference and not on the field.
Yes.
That's the worst place.
That's the most insane thing you've ever
That's your
said.
opinion, dog.
That is the most insane thing you've ever said.
That's your opinion, man.
Just say you don't like Sirianni,
Take me
and
or
this
leave
would have
me.
been over
Take
20
me or
minutes
leave
ago.
me. Take it or
Oh
leave
my
it.
god! Wait, well, all right.
So if Sirianni
I don't
came
wanna
into a
see.
press conference and was like, "Let's fucking go!
No.
We won the fucking game!"
No. Maybe emotion was the wrong word. What I'm trying to say is
Passion?
give me something.
Passion.
Give me a direct answer. Don't give me the Nick Saban, oh, yeah, we
Dude,
love winning.
Just
and,
go out there and win the game, and you could say anything you want in the press conference. Anything. Say
You could do
say
anything
2
you want
plus
on the
2 is
field.
7.
But that would
I
be
don't
false.
I don't fucking care. Just
I
win.
would question his intelligence.
Just win. That's all I care about as a fan. Win the game, and you can tell me whatever the fuck you want in the
Win
press conference.
The game.
That's literally all that matters to me. While we're on the topic of Sirianni, though, I figure we could shift real quick.
Playoffs?
Nick Sirianni obviously was snubbed from the Coach of the Year finalist. The
Yes.
3 finalists
Which
are
I think, ironically, I guess, that it's, I think that that's a bad thing that he was snubbed.
Brian Dable, Kyle Shanahan, and
Who's overrated, by
and
the way,
Doug
Shanahan.
Peterson. So Seamus's opinion is that you think Brian Dable, right?
Yes.
You would have given it to Sirianni?
No, I mean,
Shocking.
honestly, no.
I'm just asking.
I probably would have gone either Doug or Dable.
Well, Doug has like a stud QB and pretty much a stud team.
They started off complete shit.
He's the
though,
first-
and
I mean,
completely
well,
turned around
you
the
got to keep
season.
in mind, Urban Meyer was a total incompetent disaster.
Doug Peterson
Except
did
more
just
for Doug.
Doug
Yeah.
Peterson did just
Not really, dude. He's got like pretty much an
Hold on.
all-star team down there.
What?
Doug Peterson did just become the first coach in NFL history to take the worst team in the NFL and get them to a playoff win.
Yeah, I know that.
So I think
He should get consideration, but I don't think he should win it. Brian Dable did the most with the least talent.
What was the most? Winning barely 500 games.
I mean, he got to
So
the divisional
Saquon-
round. He got to the divisional round of the playoffs when they were expected to completely miss
So
the
did Doug.
playoffs.
So did Doug.
Yeah, I know, but there was less expectations, I feel like, for the Giants.
What?
The only reason
Taylor,
I
you
don't
keep
know.
saying these fucking weird like ad hominems. Dude, explain. explain.
hominems.
Explain.
I
What do you
don't-
mean?
Seamus,
What?
the-
What?
I don't-
What? I'm more in tune with the NFL than you are
Oh,
because you live in a
Jesus.
Yeah,
fake
here we
Bell
go.
and the Birdman
Why
weird
do you-
universe
why-
where all you do is talk about the Eagles.
Seamus, why-
You guys have no idea what's going on across the league.
you are now constantly calling out me as a casual of whatever sport, telling him you don't know shit. Like,
Yeah.
what a power trip are you on today?
because he just always says what without saying anything.
The only reason the Jaguars had any more expectations on them than the Giants
is because they have a good quarterback
No.
and they have weapons.
It was-
Daniel Jones is
weapons.
horrible.
Yeah, Christian Kirk is a fucking weapon.
He is
Right.
a weapon.
Yeah,
He's getting
okay.
paid like a goddamn
Yeah,
weapon.
because it was a mistake.
No, it wasn't a mistake. You're acting like
Yes, it
Seamus,
was.
you're acting like he's Kenny Galladay.
If you would have
dude.
let me finish
At least
my
he
point,
plays.
the only reason the Jaguars came into this year with more hype than the Giants was because of the hire of Doug Peterson.
Okay,
That's
that's
it.
fine.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, there's an argument for him. I
Right.
just think Dable deserves it.
My point, Brian Dable, he did better than anybody expected. Nick Sirianni did that last year. He wasn't nominated for the award.
I mean, he did
Why
lose
is
in the
why
wild
is the
card round.
criteria always changing though? Nick Sirianni's team last year, I think the over/under going into the season was 4.5 wins. They won 9.
Mm-hmm.
So like he outdid every expectation. If this is the criteria now for Dable, why wasn't it the criteria last year for Nick Sirianni?
I'm not a voter. I have
Right,
no
I'm not-
idea.
I'm not-
That's the point.
I'm
I
more
was
so
trying to-
asking generally, not to you specifically. If the
Dude, it's the better story type thing, dude.
yeah, it's always storylines,
What-
which
what
I'm just trying to
Shanahan
And
which
it's who
doesn't
doesn't
even
have a
under-
black QB, you know?
Yeah, but Shanahan doesn't even
Literally.
that doesn't even make any sense because you could see the
I'd give it to Shanahan over Dable.
no, but you could see the like where they were trying to go with it with Dable and Peterson. Like they're like good stories. But Shanahan, it's like, well, the San Francisco 49ers were supposed to be good.
I'd unironically give it to Shanahan over.
And is he
over
getting coach of the
Dable.
year because he lost his quarterback?
I mean,
That's
is
the only
impressive.
reason.
He made
did
it
take,
work.
He did take Mr. Irrelevant to win 8
He
straight
made
games.
it work, Taylor, but look at all the help that insert
You're not
quarterback had
wrong.
Well,
down there.
how did I'm forgetting the guy that started at the beginning of the year.
Trey
Lance.
Oh, Trey Lance.
Yeah, how did Trey Lance look?
Well, hold on. He only got 1.5 games.
Well, he did bang Colin Coward's daughter, which is a W.
Trey Lance didn't get a chance. Trey Lance played a game and
And
what a
now he's
quarter.
going to get
I-
traded to the Jets.
Yeah.
We don't know if Trey Lance is
probably
good
the
or not.
Texans.
All I'm saying is
I
Nick
think we
Sirianni
know.
at the very least deserved a nomination.
Absolutely, he the best football team in the league.
It just always
yes.
seems like criteria changes to fuck us somehow.
No, I know there is a narrative.
While we're talking about awards, let's talk about another one, and this is more like I think we're gonna get into an argument about this one.
Oh, boy.
The comeback,
I can't do
the
it
come-
anymore.
Yeah, more. The
I can't.
comeback player of the year. The finalists for that are Geno Smith, Saquon Barkley, and Christian McCaffrey.
Gino deserves it.
I think Geno Smith shouldn't even be nominated because he's coming back from what?
Boom.
He's coming back from what? Being ass.
Yeah, and that is
Hold
a
on.
great comeback story.
Let me fin-
coming back from
hold on.
being ass
I'll
is
get
a
my
great
I'll get my
comeback
point
story.
out, and then you get your
And he
point out because I know
totally
we disagree.
deserves it.
So pretty much every single year, the comeback player of the year award has gone to a player was injured the prior year and came back from that injury. Christian McCaffrey on this list coming back from an injury. Saquon Barkley, yes, he played 13 games last year, but he got hurt.
The majority of the season.
He got hurt and he came back, and this was his first year back off that injury. Brandon Graham deserved. I'm not saying he should have won, but Brandon Graham should have been a finalist because he actually is coming off an Achilles tear. He's I forget exactly how old he is, but he's very late.
34.
He's 34, coming off an Achilles tear, had 10+ sacks as a rotational player, like Seamus likes to point out. So he's getting less.
It's true that you get triggered by. That's not my fault.
Right, but so if anything, that makes
it's like Cesar Hernandez winning the comeback player of the year.
So if anything, doesn't that make it more impressive that Brandon Graham had as many sacks as he did since he's not playing as many snaps as the other guys on the team?
Absolutely, I think it's impressive.
So I think that makes it
But I
more
don't think he
impressive.
should have
So
won
my
it.
point is Geno Smith is coming back from nothing besides being ass.
How is
So
that not a great
if it
comeback
was,
story?
listen, if the name of the award
don't
was most
understand.
improved player like they have in the NBA, then I would agree.
That's
But
pretty
it
much
basically
that's
is.
pretty much what it is, dude.
When has it ever been given to a player that just went from horrible to good?
There hasn't been one really.
So it's the criteria is guys that got hurt or took time off and came back. Geno Smith never took time off. He's just been bad.
I mean, most improved player has also gone to people that are injured and come back and
Right,
play
but
insane.
in the NFL, the criteria
it's
has
like-
been that.
They're pretty much the same award, though. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying in the NFL,
It's like-
it's never been exhibited that is
Nah.
a part of it, the award.
Listen,
but
I know
mean,
that it's never happened, but like, I don't know, comeback player, like he's coming back from just being bad.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, but dude, I mean, you have to admit that that's a great story.
Listen, I don't hate Geno Smith at all. I just don't.
So he
think
should get awarded for it.
I don't know. I would give it to Christian McCaffrey out of this group.
I mean, Christian McCaffrey's like, I mean, whatever.
He's like the best running back in the NFL.
Yeah, but he's always hurt. It's
yeah,
like,
but that's the whole point. He
Yeah.
wasn't hurt this year.
yeah, but I think the Geno Smith story is a better story.
See, are we doing storylines or are we doing who really deserves it? 'Cause
Let's be honest.
Geno
That's
Smith-
what this is.
Geno
It's all about nice stories.
Geno Smith went from being really bad to like above average. Let's just call it what it is. He's
well,
not
he
even
also,
great.
He also took a team that was supposed to be like
That's
a
true.
fucking 4-win team.
Yeah, they were
and made
supposed to
the
be a
playoffs.
disaster.
I will not act like the Seahawks. The Seahawks are if Geno can actually continue what he's doing right now and like they can add a few more pieces, they're not far away from competing. Like
He's
they
also
have a solid team.
he was the most accurate quarterback in the NFL.
I'll give
this
him
year.
props for
That's
that.
crazy.
That's nuts.
Christian McCaffrey was the best running back in the NFL.
Yeah,
like
I
the
know.
best.
Right.
I know, but
All right. So
I
I don't
But
really.
I think you're way off with the Brandon Graham thing. If you think he should win it.
He should be nominated.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be 34, come off an Achilles tear, and put up 10+ sacks is
it's
insanely impressive.
definitely should be nominated for sure.
All right. And then the last award that had to snub the Eagle was the Defensive Player of the Year. Again, I don't think that Hassan Reddick should win it. I said earlier Nick Bosa. But you have Chris Jones and Micah Parsons nominated in front of Hassan Reddick when he was statistically better than both of them.
Yeah, I think that's
The
bullshit.
league, listen, don't take this the wrong way. I am actually, sadly, a Micah Parsons fan because I loved him at Penn State. Same thing with Saquon. I was a fan of his at Penn State. They sadly all
Vince is
go
a
to.
fraud.
They sadly,
Fraudulent.
all the players I love at Penn State unfortunately go to rival teams for some reason.
It's the Sandusky effect.
So I love Micah Parsons. Don't take this the wrong way, but
Vince
it
hated
seems like the
Miles
league
Sanders at Penn
figured.
State.
It seems like the league figured
I mean,
out
I
Micah
hate Miles
Parsons in the
Sanders, to be
second half of the
honest.
year. Am I wrong or am I right?
What'd you say again?
Sorry,
Yeah, maybe stop talking over me.
He was talking to me.
It seems like
You
the
casual
don't
NBA
take this
fan?
the wrong way, but it seems like the league figured out Micah Parsons in the second half of the year.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Not to
he-
say he wasn't
no,
good still, but
I mean, he pretty much like became non-existent outside of a few games.
and it's
It was just like Diggs on what the hell teams does Diggs play on the other Diggs?
Buffalo.
Stephon.
Yeah. No.
Stephon
Diggs?
plays
Yeah.
for the
There's
Bills.
3 of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. That one disappeared.
It's just very funny.
Tay Diggs.
I forget
There's
exactly what,
another one.
in Seattle.
Yeah.
The Diggs
I didn't
just
know
has
that.
to
Their
stop
cousin.
playing football.
when Micah Parsons
Too many
tweeted some message after the game about like love and prosperity, and people are like, bro, you ran your mouth all season and now you want to be fucking Gandhi, like you take your L's, bro.
Dude, that
Like,
guy shoots himself in the mouth with every tweet that he
But
sends
he is a
out.
Phillies fan.
Okay.
you gotta give him props for that.
Seamus.
I mean,
You didn't. We just made a Micah Parsons fan out of
no,
Seamus.
I mean, I don't like him. I think he's dumb. I think he's dumb
But
as
he's
all
a
hell.
Philly, so he's dumb for
And
being
by
a
the way,
Phillies fan.
people give him credit for backtracking that one tweet. What was that one tweet
about the Paul
He
Whalen,
was
Brittany Griner thing.
forced to. You
Yeah.
know that's how he actually feels. He's
Probably.
he's probably an asshole loser.
Or when Micah
but
Parsons.
but he fits in with Phillies fans then, right?
Yeah,
No, but like back to the
Let's
point.
be honest, most Phillies fans were probably saying that exact
dude.
same
Remember
thing
when
that he was.
SVP interviewed him and then randomly brought up his baby and he was like, "Yeah, I have
Yeah.
a child now." I'm like, "Oh, this is weird."
But back to the point. Hassan Reddick had by all standards one of the better pass rushing. Aside from Nick Bosa, I'd say the second best pass rushing
Or as
season
Nick
in
Adams
the NFL.
likes to call him, Nicky Bosa,
Yeah, Nick Adams.
alpha
great.
male.
Fuck, I just lost my point because
Sorry.
your amazing Nick
I'm
Adams
sorry.
Australian accent.
Sorry, man. He's coming on next week.
No,
Come to
listen,
Hooters.
Michael
Come to
Par-
here to smash some M&Ms.
I'd bump out Chris Jones on this list
Oh,
in favor of
100%,
Hassan
dude.
Reddick.
Me too.
It doesn't
Especially
make
because he
any
has a
sense.
generic name.
Well, I
It
mean,
is a
Chris
generic.
Jones is like he's been
He's great.
fine.
He's good.
But like he
He's
just
extremely
hasn't
good.
been on the same level as these other guys.
He is what
like
he
he
is.
really hasn't.
Well, Chris Jones gets a lot of love because of his name, probably. It's an easy name. They just throw it out there.
No, he is very
Hassan
good.
Reddick's got a difficult name to spell. Like, are there two
But
A's?
I mean, like even
are there three A's?
Even
Are there four
Hassan,
A's?
even Hassan tweeted out like, eventually this shit has to stop. I do feel like Hassan Reddick has been overlooked he's been one of the best pass rushers in the NFL for quite a few
Yeah.
years now, and he really rarely gets mentioned.
Well, to be fair,
Who
he
would
was
you put
also
over
on a
Hassan
team with-
Reddick?
He was also
Not
on a
many
team with
people.
J.J. Watt
Myles
last
Garrett.
year, which you're gonna get overlooked with
Yeah.
that. Like he was that Arizona defense also has kind of stunk for the last couple of years. Like they
Yeah.
have not been great. So he's gonna get overlooked when he's in Arizona, and then he comes here on his great defense. And honestly, I think one of the main reasons he is not getting the recognition he deserves is because of how good the rest of the defense is too. I think people are discounting
Sadly,
his impact because of how good the rest of the
our
defense
team is
That
so
makes
good
sense.
that every player is just like not good. They're actually just a
Yeah.
product of the system.
It's a cog.
funny.
It's a cog in the wheels.
You just
Oh,
said
I thought you said something
Seamus,
else.
you just said who would
It's
I
a-
take?
it's a cock.
You said who would I take over Hassan Reddick?
Yeah.
Right now, probably just
short
Nick
list.
Bosa, Myles Garrett, and like T.J. Watt.
But considering the political affiliations,
Well, listen, political affiliations aside, Nick Bosa is a fucking beast.
yeah, he could play football. Like I remember, I saw a
Can
tweet.
he?
I saw a tweet like somebody said, yeah, he may be racist and a piece of shit, but that man can play some football.
that Klansman can play.
yeah.
Listen,
yeah.
I mean, with a league that has a rising number of black QBs, you want a guy like Nick Bosa at the end. I mean,
Yeah, no, that's
it's
true.
a little extra motivation
You
for him
saw
to
what
get the
happened with
quarterback.
Dak on Sunday.
yeah.
I mean, Dak Prescott had to have been sweating
He was
bullets
seeing
leading up to that
ghosts
game. Yeah.
and hoods.
All right, that's all the awards I want to talk about. I think we should do the.
You want
look
to do a
fo-
Hall of Fame
We should
award?
do the wait. We should do the look forward to the game
For
after.
Scott Rowland.
To recap
yeah,
the other.
I need to talk about
to
Scott
quickly recap the other games that happened this weekend. What we had the Chiefs and the Jags was just boring. I mean,
Rowland. Well,
Mahomes,
Pat Mahomes went down.
Mahomes might be hurt, which is something to look into. But until we know more,
he
there's
went
not really
down
much.
swinging.
There's not really much more to talk about with that game. I mean, good for the Chiefs. I guess
can't wait
the
till
Jags had a nice
Joe
season.
Shiesty destroys him on
Let's,
one leg.
let's move to that game.
Well,
and
Pat's on one leg.
Bills Bengals. First of all, I think it's very funny how coming into the game,
Bengals?
everyone was saying how the NFL's rigged and the Bills are going to ride this Damar Hamlin thing to the Super
For
Bowl.
DeMar.
And then they lose and suddenly no one talks about it. But
Yo, the Eagles
Except
game's
for
at-
Eli
Yo,
Apple, man.
Yo, by the way,
Eli Apple was fucking hitting the Twitter fingers
yeah, his brain.
hard
Yo,
this
his
weekend.
brain's definitely not fried.
I think that
Yo, the Eagles game, by the way, 3 p.m.
yeah,
for DeMar.
Eli.
You've only oh my god, my cousin was roasting him earlier because he tweets this out and he does this shit like 3 days after the
Yeah.
game's
Yep.
already been announced.
Yeah.
And he
I
just
have to
keeps
inform him.
harping
I
on
have
it.
to
I think
inform-
I think
inform.
I think Eli Apple is one of two current NFL players that
More like
pretty much
Eli.
the
More like
pretty-
Eli Orange.
I think Eli Apple is one of the two NFL players right now that pretty much the whole league would
Hold on,
unanimously cheer if he got hurt.
Are you okay?
Oh, absolutely.
It's
Are you
him.
okay?
It's him and Deshaun Watson.
Well, dude, the name is absurd. Eli Apple. Like, come on, dude. Change your name. And by the way,
and
he's not
Eli
even
a day keeps
Vince.
the
He's not
doctor
even
away.
flying his mom to Kansas City so she can watch the game.
She's not allowed
She's not allowed to go, according to him.
Why not?
He's
because
he
they won
tweeted it.
last year when she didn't go.
Oh,
he is.
okay.
He is.
It's
I actually
superstition.
respect that.
Bad football
It's
player.
superstition.
Bad son.
No, I respect that.
bad. Just probably bad brain.
Dude, if your mom was there when you lost, you can't bring her
you
back.
can't bring
Yeah.
her back. Well, I can't bring mine back, but
Jesus Christ.
if I wanted to, but I would not.
All right, hold on. Can we let me
I
can we-
would not.
Can we talk about this game,
Good
please?
God.
She could stay there.
Because I need to once again. I need to.
Let him drown himself.
Yeah, this is bad. This is Jameis is
Here,
having a
give me your
disaster
gallon.
class today.
Let's waterboard Seamus tonight.
I need to go on another victory tour
You'll see her tonight,
because
Seamus.
for
Paul
the,
Reed.
for the second week in a row. For the second week in a row, I've been vindicated on takes I've had on this podcast.
Really? How so?
What was when we had our first NFL hot takes of the season? What was mine? Mine was Josh Allen was
I
looking
thought
kind
you
of funny
I
in the
thought you
light.
said NHL.
NFL.
I was like, I don't think we talk about that.
What was my take was that Josh Allen was looking kind of funny at the beginning of the
Yes.
season, and
No,
that
and I have been handing you your flowers.
yeah, no, I'm not saying you
I'm the
haven't.
only one on the show, by the way, that hands you the flowers.
this whole season I've been heavily on the ass of the Chargers / Justin Herbert
Yep.
and the Bills / Josh
More
Allen.
like Justin
And
Pervert.
2 weeks in a row, I've been vindicated because Josh Allen just Listen, he's great, and I'm not ever going to say he's any.
just mid now. I feel like
he's the second best or third best, probably third best now. Joe Burrow has probably overlapped him.
Josh has got a nuke. That's about it.
Josh Allen is supremely talented, but he just doesn't have the mind of like a great.
He makes a lot of
He plays hero
mistakes, man.
ball.
He makes a lot of mistakes.
He does what Joel Embiid does, and he plays hero
and
ball.
he did what Carson Wentz does too.
He plays a lot of dude. He looks like Wentz a lot sometimes.
He really does.
In his worst moments, he is eerily.
He's Wentz.
Yeah,
and that,
similar.
And that, if you're a Bills fan, that's a scary floor.
Yeah,
that is a scary
and now
floor.
you have Stephon Diggs on the sideline yelling at him, and Stephon Diggs like getting out of the building as soon as he could.
Yep.
Who knows what's gonna happen there? But like the Bills are also just. I've been saying this. Like they pissed me off. I don't mind the Bills. Like obviously, like I've had problems, with the fan base getting away with things we wouldn't and all that. They came into this.
They are in the mafia.
They came into this year, and the Bills were the overwhelming Super Bowl favorites that everybody was sucking off. Josh Allen, people were on their knees begging for him to win MVP. And neither of those things happen because they're not this juggernaut that everyone thinks they are. Their defense is mid. They gave all this money to fucking Von Miller, who's like 40 years old.
That really hurt them though when he went down. But they should have considered
I'm saying
that
they're
being a
investing so
possibility.
much money in a guy that's that old.
Exactly.
And then on offense, like Gabe Davis has his moments, but he is not.
He
like,
is
great.
He is the Reese Hoskins of wide receivers.
Yes,
he really is. This guy goes on a tear. Like he could go on a tear for like a 3-week span and then just disappear for 5 weeks.
And then they have no run game.
No one's ever said he's the Reese Hoskins wide receiver.
But don't you think that he is?
I like that take.
I mean,
though.
he's like hit or miss.
I like that take because Gabe Davis is extremely hot and cold.
He is Reese Hoskins.
But they also, and I think
He's
the biggest detriment of their team is that they have no
Reese
run
Hoskins
game.
is white.
Their only aspect of a successful run game is Josh Allen running the ball.
Yes.
And Josh Allen gets crushed.
No,
when
he
runs.
does. He does.
So
No,
listen,
but you were
I don't
absolutely
know.
right about Josh Allen.
Their
I
window-
thought you were nuts.
Their window might already be closed. Like I'm not even saying that
well,
sarcastically.
Diggs is gone.
Well, even if he's gone, even if the team stayed the exact same, the Bengals have proven that they are just the second team in the AFC now. Maybe even first because they seem to have the Chiefs' number.
Well, I'll
obviously.
tell you this: if the Bengals
Beat the Chiefs,
Kansas City
they're
this
number
week,
one.
and Patrick Mahomes, who did practice today, is healthy, like relatively speaking healthy, then I go Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the league. I have to go personally. I have to go Joe Burrow 1, Patrick Mahomes 2. At that point, and I put Jalen Hurts at 3.
I was gonna say, I mean,
I put Jalen Hurts at 3.
Actually, Brock Purdy's better than Jalen
and
Hurts.
I don't even know where I would put Josh Allen. I guess by default he would have to be 4, just because there aren't a lot of great quarterbacks.
No, Brock Purdy is 3.
No, Josh
Jalen
Allen
Hurts
will be
is 4.
Brock Purdy's
Josh
number
Allen
1,
is
dude.
5.
Let's stop kidding
let's
ourselves. We
just
are going to
call
get
it what it is.
demolished at the link at 3 p.m.
I don't really have
Central
anything
Time
else to
Eastern.
say about the game. Cool snow game. DeMar was there, or was he?
I mean,
And
Vince is a
all right.
subscriber.
No,
Now I remember what I was going to say. Vince is a
starting to-
subscriber to the DeMar Hamlin
No, I am
conspiracy.
not.
That's why he hates the
I'm
Bills.
starting to think it's real.
He hates the Bills.
Hear me out. All right.
All right, can we play the
It's not-
InfoWars
it's-
music?
It's not real. I'm not even gonna do this. I'm not even gonna do this.
Yeah.
But the DeMar Hamlin conspiracy theory, number
It's
one,
insane.
is
It's
bizarre.
fucking insane.
I mean, it is one
it's
of the
one of
wor-
the most insane things ever.
like
Thanks, Pfizer.
our buddy Sean like put it like perfectly. He was like, "What even is this conspiracy?" It's like, dude, it's like a
He
random.
wore a ski mask.
It's a random defensive player in the NFL
I would
who
like
collapsed.
I would like to make everyone aware out there. If the United States of America had access to cloning technology, they would be weaponizing it and not reviving or cloning
Vladimir
DeMar
Putin would have been a
DeMar-
plant
yeah.
years ago.
and
right.
wouldn't it be like a bigger star? Like,
right.
you know.
No, you
they'd
got to
be-
start small.
They would be
Yeah, true.
using
We
that
can slowly
cloning
Miles
take over
Sanders.
the
If the U.S. had cloning technology, they'd be using it to terrorize some third world nation
Yeah,
right now.
absolutely.
And not fucking clone DeMar Hamlin. I'm not even gonna.
So
stick on
basically,
this.
Unless Roger Goodell paid enough in his lobbying, you know.
well, hold on, just real quick for the laymen
I
out
guess.
there and the laywomen who don't know what we're talking about, who aren't informed. So DeMar Hamlin.
No, I don't even know. Should we let them live in the bliss of not even knowing about this conspiracy?
Well, DeMar Hamlin collapsed because of the vax apparently, and then was revived, but he actually wasn't revived. He died on the field, but they had to get a double because they wanted to make sure that nobody thought that DeMar died because of the vax, because then they would be fucked, and then everybody would be scared.
And
so he is dead. The guy that you saw in Buffalo is a double.
And the same conspiracy theorist said that the EMTs and the first responders on the Bills training staff actually are evil, and they killed him.
They made it worse.
They made
And
it
I
worse.
also saw that the ambulance was actually a U-Haul that was dressed up to be an ambulance. First of all, if you're the NFL, you don't have a better company to
Dude,
utilize besides the
Do you-
U-Haul.
Do they like
U-Haul?
listen, I don't want to get too stuck on this. Do you know how many people would have to be in on this conspiracy? Like DeMar Hamlin's
Everybody!
family would have to be okay
The
with
family, the teammates.
Well, they
the
would never
teammates-
know. The
Well,
body
dude,
would be replaced when they weren't looking.
Well, dude, the teammates would already be mourning this man.
No. Nobody knows that he died.
Oh my God.
The government slipped him in.
Oh, the
Anyway, this
government.
has been.
They did the exchange in the
I
U-Haul.
can't. They did it in the U-Haul.
Yeah, this has been.
God
This
The
has been.
U-Haul was holding a cloning.
This has
Oh,
been
no.
Tucker Carlson tonight.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyway, Chiefs Bengals should be good. Anyway, next game, and then we'll talk about the look ahead to the NFC
And
Championship
the
game.
Scott Rowland.
Obviously, we have the Cowboys versus the Niners, which my first point and the biggest point that I think all three of us and anyone in Philly should take away from this game is like I was watching that game, and probably by like halftime, I was like,
I turned
am I
it off.
supposed to be scared of either of these
I
teams?
turned it off.
Like they looked so mid. Both teams looked so painfully fucking mid.
Very boring
The
game.
fact that the Cowboys could have won that game playing as bad as Dak Prescott played is like a detriment to the 49ers.
It's an
like,
indictment on the
it's
49ers.
a- yes, indictment,
It
sorry.
really is. No, I agree.
because Dak Prescott played terribly. And also, is it funny to anybody else? I don't know. I guess they just must not have posted the videos. Why haven't we seen any videos of Brett Maher slamming his helmet in frustration as Dak Prescott threw the game away?
Yeah, exactly right. That's
I mean,
a good
Dak
point.
Prescott the week before slammed his helmet against the bench
and
when
it was intercepted.
Brett Maher missed. Yeah, it was. he was very upset when Brett Maher was missing his kicks.
Yeah.
But Brett Maher didn't seem to show the same hostility as Dak Prescott cost the team.
He didn't show that same
yeah.
energy.
Yeah. So
You know why? Because Maher's a good teammate.
just think that's interesting.
Well, Maher probably knows
Yeah,
who
no.
Dak is at this point. He sees it every
yeah,
year.
you have to expect it.
Yeah.
Dude, I just can't overstate how thankful I am for the Cowboys. And what I mean by that is how thankful I am that they find a way not only to lose in the end, but like do it so comically.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's
Like
always
last year
dude,
with
last
the-
year.
last year
oh
with
my
Dak
God,
sliding
as
in the
time
middle of the field.
expires.
This year, I cannot overstate how many times I've watched the final play of the 49ers Cowboys game.
Really, that many times?
Zeke lining up at center and
Oh my
just
God.
getting
Dude,
crushed.
what even was that?
Did you see that somebody on Wikipedia changed his position to center?
And
Oh,
then
that's classic.
who caught the ball? Because that guy got smoked
Yeah,
too.
he got smoked. I don't
and
know.
there was
It was
all
just some random dude. I don't even know. They probably just pulled one of
Practice
their
squad.
there
D-backs.
was no
Yeah.
one there to even catch a toss back.
Yeah.
What is Mike McCarthy actually that dumb?
No,
Like,
I
he
mean,
has
Yes.
to-
I
Yes.
was going to use another word to describe him, but I can't.
Mike McCarthy is he is the perfect example of like a guy who is not a good coach, but like he's a puppet, so Jerry Jones likes
Yeah.
him. And I don't know what they're gonna do. Like you have to get rid of him if you're the Cowboys. Like bring in try to bring in Sean Payton.
No, they can't. You know why? Because he slept over and got personalized PJs from Jerry.
Oh, that's true. He did get the personalized PJ.
Yeah, he
I mean,
put
he
on
slept over
And
Jerry
not
Jones'
PJ
house.
Willihan's, right? Not PJ Willihan's. You're talking about pajamas. right?
Pajamas.
Okay. All
He
right.
got his
The-
personalized Christmas
The
jammies.
game was
Aw.
just
Isn't that cute?
the game was so
Isn't that nice?
boring. It was so boring. Nothing exciting really happened.
I turned it off at halftime.
This is another game where I
Turned
think
it
that
off.
Brock Purdy made some mistakes, and for some reason, I thought the Cowboys' defense would capitalize on them. They really didn't. But you see that the mistakes are there to be had. Turnovers are there for the taking, and that is hopeful for the Eagles.
Well,
'cause
as
we
an
lead
Eagles
the
fan,
league
you're
in
sitting
turnovers.
there
Yeah.
watching that game saying, I'm not afraid of
No.
any of these people.
Purdy's
I would-
Purdy's not used to quarterback pressure, and he's been
Oh
sacked.
my God! Every time he went to the left, he literally would throw the ball
Yeah.
10 feet ahead
Beyonce.
of whatever
He
receiver he was aiming for.
He's been sacked twice since he started, and that was before the last game
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
And then on the third play of the game, he
Yeah.
gets sacked.
Like-
so that's what he looks like when he has quarterback pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's gonna have a lot of
let's-
fun
yeah,
this
let's-
week.
Yep.
Let's
I'm
not even.
surprised you know all that.
I don't even want to spend a lot
As
of
a
time.
casual.
But the Cowboys, they suck. They'll always suck. Fuck the Cowboys. They lose in
Freedom,
comical
boys.
fashion, and every single year I love it. And if you're a Cowboys fan and you're still
Fuck you,
hanging,
Ryan
if you're a
Heddle.
Cowboys fan that's even like around my age, which I'm 24, if you're even around my age and you still are
Vince is
like,
gonna fight you.
If
Don't
you're-
show
no,
up. Don't
if-
show up at Patty
if you're
Wax.
still like, oh, the Cowboys, we have all this success in the past, like, fuck, you're such a loser.
Yeah, I
That is
agree.
such loser energy. Like,
They had success
congratulations.
before they were born.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
The
Heddle,
Eagles.
this is Vince's
While their parents were-
declaration to
While
fight
their
you.
parents were having sex, there was some recent Cowboy success.
Heddle is actually a reasonable Cowboys fan, but the Eagles
I-
have the most
I
NFC
disagree
Championship.
with that.
The Eagles
but
have the
okay.
The Eagles have the most
He's not reasonable. He's from Philadelphia and he's a Cowboys fan. By definition, you are not
Well,
reasonable.
yes, but like he's not like an insane like this is
Well,
our
no,
year every year
because he
Cowboys
knows the room. But
Yeah.
you don't want to know what he says
The
at
Eagles.
work.
Let's all right. Anyway, let's talk about the next game.
Can't wait to send that to him.
Sunday 3 p.m. at the link. The Eagles,
For tomorrow,
the
by the way, 3
49ers play for the NFC Championship, and I'm just first of all I just want to say how excited I am that it's back in Philly. Like what
I'm
a good
thrilled.
feeling.
I'm thrilled about it.
Obviously 2017 was a great fucking year for.
Mhm.
Well, 2018 technically is when the games were here.
Yep. Well, by
Uh,
the way, 17 is Q. So there's QAnon was involved with the first.
What?
Q was the 17th letter of the
Oh
alphabet.
shit!
Yeah. Think about it.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
That's why the Eagles won the Super Bowl
True.
in the 2017 season.
All right. Anyway, before Seamus derails this with a QAnon conspiracy, well, I can't even remember what I was about to say. Oh, the Eagles
you wiped
have
your brain.
the Eagles have the most NFC Championship game appearances since 2000.
Yep.
Like, if God willing, if the Eagles were to go and win the Super Bowl this year, like,
Be pretty
honestly, like,
fun.
you have to start to talk about like the Eagles dynasty over the last 20
yeah,
years. Like,
absolutely. What?
as far as like,
Because like 7 Eastern Conference Finals since 2001.
NFC Championship games.
You're thinking of the Sixers,
Yeah.
which is not a thing.
It's going to come.
Because like
Eastern
the
Conference
it's coming.
Finals,
Dude, like,
Sixers.
It's coming.
the
That's a
AFC,
good one.
the
By the way,
AFC
Ben Simmons is in town tonight.
Oh, dude, I just saw a clip of him, and my goodness,
Go ahead, Vince.
he looked like he was gonna cry. Sorry.
I was,
He
no,
will.
I was going to say the AFC I keep saying the 2000. AFC since 2000 has been pretty much dominated by dynasties. Like, it's been all the Patriots pretty much, with the occasional like Ravens or Colts or Steelers. Now it's, the Chiefs are looking like it's going to be them, or the Bengals, but it's pretty much like handful of teams out of the AFC
Yeah.
since 2000. Whereas the NFC has been just a mess, and it's pretty much a different team every single year. And like the Eagles seem to be a constant factor in at least getting to the conference championship.
What do you
Niners.
prefer? Do you prefer that?
Niners
do you
honestly
prefer
have
that
been
in
more
football?
consistent.
Like where it's like a different team every year, or would you rather have dynasties? Like, take your Eagles-
I think everyone likes different teams every
Take
year.
your Eagles fandom aside. I mean, I prefer. That's why I like baseball so much.
I mean, there was no more boring time in the NBA, and I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth because the
Warriors?
2016 finals was like the greatest ever. But like, it was very boring when I think it was 4 years in a row it was Cavs Warriors.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to shoot everyone on both teams.
Was it
Yeah.
boring?
Violence.
I mean, the
Yes.
2016 finals was amazing, but I think all the other
It
times
was just
sucked.
repetitive, and it was just like, well, why couldn't we have just done this at the beginning of the
Yeah,
year?
like-
if we knew this is what's
Right.
going to happen
like
again.
Exactly.
like the fourth time it happened, Taylor, it was like, okay, like come
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Please
enough is
give me
enough.
something else.
People were more bored with the Bucks Suns finals than the third.
That's a good point.
Cavs
Well,
Warriors.
it got on
finals.
after the 2016 finals. It
Yes,
just got
they
unfair.
were.
'cause
Bro,
KD.
watching Giannis just score like 50 a night on the Suns was
It was
hysterical.
kind of fun.
I
It
mean,
was so
the,
great.
the
But I'm,
Suns utter
I'm with
collapse.
you, but most people would rather see the same thing.
Also, watching Chris Paul just absolutely like get murdered in
Very
the finals,
old. Very old.
and
though.
then coming out and saying that he's addicted to it, and then getting beat by
Yeah, that
by
was rough.
basically just Luka. That was like the greatest story arc I've ever seen
yeah,
in my
but he's
life.
old though, so
It was incredible though.
the brain's not there.
But yeah, the Eagles.
The brain's
the
not
Eagles
there.
have been
68.
one of the most reappearing teams in that. So anyway, on Sunday, obviously the biggest game of the season,
3:00 for tomorrow.
and Brock Purdy's first road start is going to be in the Link in the NFC Championship game.
if
And
he wins, by the way, I'm no longer an Eagles fan. I feel like I have to become a Brock Purdy San Francisco 49ers
I mean,
fan.
if he actually does, he might be like the second coming of Jesus
yeah,
Christ
he might
himself.
be.
But
Or
like,
it's rigged.
this is the reason why I think the Eagles are going to win, because you have a guy coming in who has not played in a road game yet, and he is making his first start in the Link
Yeah,
in the NFC Championship
something
game.
would have
They
to go
played the
horribly
Raiders.
wrong.
Which they
played
played the Raiders away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
How-
that doesn't count because the Raiders are basically an away team
Oh, okay.
every time they play
Well,
in their
no,
own
I was
stadium.
wrong. Hand up. But his
No,
okay.
I know, but it's like the sentiment's there because the Raiders home games are just like everybody travels to Vegas because they want to go to
Let me-
Vegas
Yeah,
for their
yeah.
team's
I'll
games.
reword it this way. He has not played in anything close to the atmosphere
Yeah.
No.
that will be the Link
Not
on
at all.
Sunday.
He has no idea what's coming.
And
Seattle?
I listen, like Taylor said, what'd you say, Taylor?
Seattle?
No,
Dude,
Seattle.
oh come on, dude! That place is the most
You've
overrated.
never been there.
That's the most overrated
You've
fan
never
base.
been there.
It's the. How
Wait,
do you know that,
Did he play in Seattle?
dude? I was friends with Ichiro.
When- what-
okay,
what week
I
did he
used to
play
go to
in Seattle?
all the time.
I must have missed that.
They played Seattle December 15th. and he started.
That's not as raucous as the Link. I'm sorry.
I mean, a playoff game also does make a difference.
Yeah.
But like, I just think that like you said earlier,
Taylor
as
thinks
far
we're
as
gonna
getting
lose.
as far as getting pressure, like you're going up against the team that led the league in sacks and is like historically speaking, I think they're the third sacks
Dude,
all time.
dude,
Yes.
They are the first team ever with 4 players with 10 plus sacks. Like you're gonna be getting pressure on this
Fire
guy.
Gannon though.
Yeah, you're gonna be getting pressure on this guy pretty much all day, and then like the beautiful thing about our defense is there's really no weakness right now. Like I guess our safeties, but like even they've been playing very good all year. Like Marcus Epps is great. I mean Reed Blankenship has been doing his thing.
Yeah.
Is Vontae Maddox playing in this game, by the way? Is anyone-
Apparently he might
No,
be
I
right.
don't think he
I
will.
highly doubt it.
Yeah.
So he'll be back for the Super Bowl, just as I
If
predicted.
he's
That would
back, yeah, maybe.
It would have been awesome to have him back for this game because he is so great. But like even still, you have 2 of the most dominant corners in the league. You got good linebackers this year. It's a complete defense, and I think that'll end up being the difference in the game. Plus, I don't know. San Francisco defense is great, but I think there's things there to be had for Jalen Hurts.
I think we match up well against them. I think we win easily, especially at home.
I don't know if
And
I'm
by
ready to say
easily, I
easily.
mean by like 7 points.
I did. I didn't give the Eagles as much credit as I should have going into the Giants game. I made that game a little closer than it was. So
Yep.
I don't know.
It's because the Giants were hot.
I don't know exactly what my score is going to be, but like I'm feeling like it's not going to be as high a scoring of a game because it's two great defenses.
I think it's going to be high scoring. I don't know why.
Listen, I think this is so repetitive, and I feel like I say this all the time. It's going to come down to the turnover battle. Like I'm pretty sure that since college, Brock Purdy is I forget exactly what his record is, but it's amazing at home, and it's like 10-13 on the road.
10-13
on the road, yeah.
Man, he's under
So, like,
500.
Yeah, so you're talking about a guy who isn't historically great on the road, and like we've seen interceptions there to be had that teams just don't take advantage of. Like if he puts those same opportunities in the face of the Eagles defense, like they're going to be taken.
Dude, it's just so crazy.
If you give an offense like ours,
one win away from a Super Bowl.
Yeah, if you give an offense like ours like opportunities on a short field, like they're gonna capitalize on that.
One win away.
I think one thing that we will capitalize on especially is their secondary is not that great.
No, it's not.
Really
it's the weakest part of
No.
their defense.
And I just don't see, like with our line protection, I genuinely think, I don't care who's on the other side, I genuinely think Jalen's going to have enough time to throw. And even if he doesn't, he has been good at getting the ball
I have
out
a
quick.
feeling
Yeah.
it's going to be a big day for Dallas Goedert because Fred Warner, as great as he is,
That's what I thought,
They struggle.
last week.
They struggle with covering tight ends.
Yeah.
And I think that will be a big area
Those
to
Goddard
exploit
screens,
for,
man,
yeah.
they're going to go fucking crazy this week.
By the way, not for nothing, the Eagles are, going to have their handful a little bit with Kittle, I think.
Yeah, he is a great tight end. I mean,
And he's a very lovable guy.
I'm
like that guy's personality is
for the
I hope he
second.
tears his ACL.
elite.
That guy's a weirdo.
How is he a weirdo, Taylor?
He's
Oh my
absolutely
God!
a weirdo.
Everything I say he has to disagree. This is like skipping Shannon, which, by the way, Shannon's totally insane for thinking that he's on his show and getting thrown out of an NBA game. But whatever.
Did you see his exit interview? He laughed
Dude,
like a little
yeah.
squirrel girl. after
Dude,
that.
I think he has CTE.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
I'm almost 100%. Like that's unhinged.
But I think Skip
Like I
does
actually
too.
I actually now look at Shannon in a worse light than I do Skip, because
No.
Skip, is an act.
What?
Skip Bayless told
He's a fucking moron.
Skip Bayless told Dak Prescott he was weak for mourning his brother who killed himself.
I know. I
So-
thought that was funny because it's
Jesus.
a bit. It's a bit. He doesn't mean any of that.
Yeah, when you can't just say it's
No,
a
it's
bit
a-
when you
it's
do something
attention.
horrible.
I would laugh if somebody said
It's
that
cheap
to me.
attention.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't. Why are we talking about Skip and Shannon?
I want to talk about Scott
Um,
Rowland, dude.
I was about to say I think the scariest part of the Niners offense, and I think this is the second week in a row I'm going with this position, but it's Christian McCaffrey. Like he's really all I'm worried about.
I go the Kittle.
Yeah, Kittle's up there, but like I think that Brock Purdy's going to be shitting his pants.
By the way,
all game.
CMC did not practice today. So
That is
take
true.
with that what you will.
And it seems like,
Veterans Day off. They do that a lot.
but
on
it seems
Wednesdays.
like Christian
Veterans Day,
it
dude.
does-
Oh, it literally-
No, but it seems like McCaffrey actually is dealing with something. And the other, I forget who were the other two guys that were out.
Devo, I believe, right?
Who was it? Debo and someone else. I'm pretty sure those guys. are
Devo,
just,
hell of a name, by the way.
I'm pretty sure that Chris McCaffrey has not a
No, he's
significant injury,
dealing
but
with something. Yeah. No, he is.
So
But,
yeah, it's not nothing, but it's also not like something to write home about. He's gonna play, and he'll probably
It is
be
not
fine.
Veterans Day, by the way,
Not
listeners.
Veterans Day.
Thank
Don't
you.
worry, guys.
Pat's just spreading fake news.
But with our run defense, I think we should be able to handle them. But obviously, it's about the pass catching ability of CMC that worries you a little bit.
I think we can contain him.
I mean, if you get to Purdy and like make him fold, like I think we will. I mean, yeah,
that's
it
why I
might
think-
actually end up being hard for
like
this team.
people
to put up
always say,
points.
like about this game, like it's not going to be high. I think it's going to be high scoring. That's just my gut feeling.
I'm 50-50 because
I have Eagles 35, San Fran 28.
but if the Eagles get to Purdy, make him uncomfortable, and he plays like a rookie quarterback historically plays in this type of game, I mean, how do you see them putting up 28 points?
Because he has to be like slightly competent with his weapons. I mean, he has elite weapons, man,
He does,
and
but
he has a defense
I
that
just
will.
I just feel like he might
rock out
struggle
for him.
getting the ball to him. And also, like we talked about before with Jalen Hurts, one of the beautiful things about him is we know that he doesn't make mistakes, and it's awesome. You could just kind of sit back and feel comfortable with him leading the offense. His defense, the defense of the 49ers is great, but Jalen is so smart that like I don't see many turnovers. Like obviously you can never predict, interceptions and stuff, but like Jalen's just so smart with the ball. Like
That's going to be a key, though. I
It
think
will.
you live with the turnovers. Eagles.
I just think I'm
win.
going a little bit more low scoring because I don't want to predict a blowout or anything because like I don't think it will be.
No, I don't think it's going to be a
But, like,
blowout.
in my mind, when I close my eyes, what I see is the Eagles' defense getting to Brock Purdy early and often, making him uncomfortable. The lights are a little too bright for him in the NFC Championship game, and that's fine because he's a rookie. Like, I'm not saying, like, oh, Brock Purdy, he's going to fold in the NFC Championship game. He's a fraud. He's a rookie quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant. Like, his story is great. The only reason I ever, quote-unquote hate on him is because he gets more credit than Jalen Hurts does for an MVP-like season.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Which
like,
is ridiculous.
Brock Purdy could fold in this game, and, like, it will mean nothing on his career. He made it this far in the playoffs. A great story, whatever.
The
But,
Eagles defense is going to make him look like Carson Wentz.
Historically speaking,
I hope so.
rookie quarterbacks don't fare well in these types of games. I don't even know exactly what the record is of rookie quarterbacks in a conference championship on the road.
It can't be
it
good.
has to be like nothing,
Abysmal.
almost. Like no wins, almost.
Yeah, no.
I would assume. Feel free to correct me on that, anyone that's listening. But like that's what I'm saying. In my mind, I see that, and I see the Eagles being able to move the ball in the Niners. So like, I don't want to predict a blowout, but like maybe like 28 to like 21 to 10, like 24 to 10.
You think they only get in the end zone once?
Listen, if I'm predicting what I think is going to happen, and I think Brock Purdy gets shut down and like collapses, I don't know how they're going to score points. Obviously, you have Christian McCaffrey. You could just hand the ball off to him or do some dump offs or whatever.
They do have the Gould.
Yes,
that
they do.
in
He is a
How about the
fantastic
Gould?
kicker. Maybe like more like 24 to 13 or 24 to 14, something in that range.
I think
I'm
they
bad
get
at I'm bad at exact score predictions.
I have a
but
feeling they get at least 21 points.
the Niners,
Yeah.
that's fair. I just think that Purdy is going to collapse.
Yeah, and he very well may.
What's your-
I hope it's 20,
He's
what,
gonna
8 to
collapse?
10.
What's your
not
opinion,
like
Pat?
the Trade Center. Oh, no, no.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Nah, that's a little
Pat,
bit
what's
too.
your-
Did he get the
your-
vaccine?
No,
what's
I
your
don't
I'm
know.
not doing a
Pat?
score prediction.
I got 3 vaccines for tomorrow. But
No, I mean I'm not doing a score prediction. I hate those, but I think it's going to be a pretty evenly matched game until the Eagles.
what's your
blow it
score
open.
prediction for Philly's opening day against the Rangers? Now, this is going to be tough with DeGrom on the mound.
I think the Rangers are going to win 15-2,
All right,
and
probably.
Nick Castellanos is going to strike out 10 times.
Probably. Good. Release him. But, all right, so we all think that the Eagles are going to win and advance to another Super Bowl.
I think it's going to be a slow game up until like the second half, and then I think that the Eagles are going to explode
Taylor,
all over the 49ers.
Taylor, get your
face.
head out of your butt real quick.
No.
Okay. I know you don't like
Keep
to
it
do
there. That's where Seamus likes it.
Yeah, I love it like that. You're going to find out up the mountains that you're not coming to that you might be. But I do have a question. Score prediction?
Eagles cover. I don't.
Oh, my God.
What's
I knew he was going to do a bet thing.
What is it? The Eagles. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's very. What are the Eagles? 2.5 point
2.5.
favorites.
2.5.
So
They're
basically,
definitely gonna cover that.
the Vegas stinks or whatever. They think that the Eagles would lose if the
I
game
think
was
it's
in
in
San Fran,
D.C. now.
which is it's kind of insane because I think the Eagles could win this game even on the road. But
Yeah,
like
I think so, too.
I think on the road it becomes more of a challenge, obviously because Purdy maybe doesn't fold in front of a home crowd.
I also think that Rob Thompson's comments like ring true for the Eagles as well, because Rob Thompson, obviously, when he accepted that award yesterday for
He
the
said,
Philadelphia
take
Sports
Alvarado or
Writers
take Wheeler
Association.
out.
Well,
No, he said that one of the opposing coaches approached him after one of the games and said, or after one of the series and said, that was 4 hours of hell every night for my players.
That's
I cannot
awesome.
believe that.
I love that.
And he said he thanked the Philly fans for that. And it's just like, people really don't get it until they come here.
Until they come here, exactly.
And it's like, yeah, you might have Debo being like, yeah, no, our stadium's better. It's like, no,
Which,
it's
by the
just
way,
blatantly
I
false.
don't knock him for saying that. You know,
yeah,
I
you
mean,
gotta
he's-
show love
yeah,
to your fans.
But also, it's just blatantly false.
yeah, he doesn't
And
know.
it's- yeah, he doesn't know.
Debo never played here in a playoff atmosphere. I don't think.
Exactly.
I do feel like one wild card factor we're all forgetting is that Doc Rivers did guarantee the Eagles to go to the Super Bowl. And
Yeah,
that
we don't talk about that, Vince. Shut
No.
the fuck up.
We extend him, by the way, if they get there.
Yeah, I mean you have no choice.
You
at that
have
point.
to.
He guaranteed.
I mean,
it.
he is him. But I don't think anyone's called him that.
But let me ask you a question.
he's
Last
not.
game against the Giants, obviously there was
19
a moment.
to 21.
there was
Keep
a-
complaining about the coach.
There was a moment during the last game where AJ Brown appeared to be like.
All right, we have.
People said he was pouty. What?
Well, by the way, he was known to be
No,
a bit
he
of a
wasn't.
diva in
He wasn't
Tennessee.
pouty.
I'm just saying.
Apparently, what happened is
He
they
got
took
injured.
him
I don't
out.
believe that.
They took him out because he was a little banged up, and he was pissed about it.
No, he
Which is fair.
does
That's all
have
I'm
a
looking into
reputation of
it
being a diva in Tennessee a little bit, which is fine.
Because he had Ryan Tannehill.
But
throwing
every
to him,
wide
to be
receiver is
fair.
a diva, and he might be a powder. But that's okay.
All I was gonna ask, I was gonna tie that question in. Do you think this game, AJ Brown sees a larger role?
I hope so, because
I
like
think
he's
so.
kind of been like missing for a long time now.
He really hasn't.
No, he has. Like he hasn't been like dominant. I need Pittsburgh Steelers. AJ
you also
Brown.
have
You
to.
don't-
You also have
what?
to.
I want the Steelers,
game
AJ
against-
Brown.
the game against the
Antonio
When he
Brown?
scored like
No,
4
the game-
touchdowns.
the game
I was
against the
like,
Steelers.
I was like, what the fuck
no,
is he
yeah,
talking
dude, he was on the
I thought you were
Steelers, I
talking about. I
forgot.
thought you thought you were about
You,
Antonio
no,
Brown.
Seamus, you do have to keep in mind that he played the last
I'm not a
three,
casual like him.
the last 3 games again in the regular season. AJ Brown played with Gardner Minshew for 2 and a very
No, I
limited
know.
playbook
No, I
in
know.
Jalen Hurts.
But yes, to
For
answer your
everything.
question, I think he goes the fuck off.
Yeah, I
I
think he
need
will.
it. I need AJ get
I think he will
7
strictly
touchdowns.
because of the fact that their secondary is so weak.
Yeah,
And I think a
I-
big part of this game is going to be the slant game because
I
they
thi-
can't protect the middle of the field.
Goddard scores. I think Goddard scores.
yeah, I think Goddard is the biggest game out of all the pass
I
catchers.
think Goddard scores. I think AJ scores twice, and I think we get a Booby Banders touchdown runner right in. But I will say this:
Yeah, right.
one thing,
Scott, baby.
Scott Rowland was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of
my
Fame
God.
yesterday. I just want to say this: I'm not trying to hate on the guy, but
Yes,
I
you
am
are.
trying to hate on the guy.
Yes, you are.
When he left here, he made no bones about it. He did not want to play for the city. He did not like playing in Philadelphia. He didn't like the fans. He didn't like anything about the city. I don't like him ever since that happened. I think he's a very overrated baseball player. Looking at his numbers, I've always said Scott Rowland is a borderline Hall of Famer. One thing that I will point out, though, Jimmy Rollins finished top 10 in MVP voting twice in his career and won one time. He actually won the MVP once in that span. Scott Rowland finished top 13 in MVP voting once in his career, never won. Scott Rowland does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. He was a very 2,000 hits. Give me a break. That's laughable. 300 home runs doesn't cut it anymore. An elite defensive third baseman. I think he's totally overrated. It's a shame the National Baseball Hall of Fame is becoming the Hall of Fame of very good. And that's what it's becoming because he was a very good player, not Hall of Fame worthy. And it's just really sad that Jimmy Rollins
What about his 8 gold
probably
gloves?
won't get in. Again, one of the better defensive third basemen of all time. But listen, not Hall of Fame worthy. That's just me.
How's your hair
Yeah.
still wet?
Because I took
also,
a
one thing we didn't mention is the random as far as Nick Sirianni, the random media outrage
he's
about
going
the
back
fact
to
that
Sirianni
he,
after
no,
that
I was just saying the fact that he shared that I don't think we ever talked about
to
it.
torture me.
Just the thing, like the Pizza Hut thing. It was so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, I mean it was weird for him to say. Let's be honest.
All he said was he ordered pizza to watch the game.
He's in
Jameis just
South
hates
Philly.
him. All right.
Huh?
He
There's
just hates him.
Why didn't he support a local
Stop.
business?
Because he was craving a stuffed
yeah.
crust.
Can we admit that that's a thing that's been happening on Philly
It's a
Twitter?
millionaire.
Hold on, that's the thing that's been happening on Philly Twitter that doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, you live in Philly. There's so much good
Millionaire
pizza.
can't get pizza.
Yeah, there's good pizza everywhere in Philly. Absolutely.
knows.
But like, no, I like Pizza Hut.
all right, so do I, dude.
Right, but like
you can't out Pizza the Hut.
you can't. But why does everybody act like it's like some sin against crime against humanity, like that he maybe just was
Listen, I'm
craving
not
Pizza
saying
Hut?
he's Hillary Clinton or Henry Kissinger. I'm just saying he could have ordered from like
Why are you?
Bella-
Seamus is now criticizing the type of food the fucking coach eats.
They didn't take the Giants seriously.
All right.
They didn't take the. Why are they eating?
We real quick. We actually might be bringing another podcast.
No, we definitely are
over the
doing that.
weekend. We're gonna get drunk and record a podcast.
I'm not
at
drinking.
this,
I am not drinking.
Yeah, Seamus won't be
Oh,
drunk. Then he'll
yeah.
be sober. The rest of us will be
No,
drunk.
I'll be high as fuck.
Anyway, the rest of us will be doing a podcast from the Mountain House that we will be in this weekend. So
From the mountains.
look for
Vince
that.
will be doing live play-by-play of me playing Beard Eye.
Yes, exactly.
But no, by the way, hold on. Can you still hear me out there, Pat? I'm not going to say this personally because you'll be like, yeah, whatever.
Oh.
But I need to get you on the record. I'm participating because I've been practicing. I've been lifting. I feel good about myself. I took my
Oh,
shirt
no.
off today in the shower, and I kind of see like
Wait, you usually
definitions
don't,
coming back.
You usually don't
I look
take your
good.
shirt off in the shower?
No, dude. Let me just.
Please
Dude,
don't
take
get
your
caught
shirt
up in
off
your
now.
shower habits.
Take your shirt off now.
I'm partaking in Beard Eye.
Okay.
All right. I don't have to be your
Have you been
partner.
practicing?
Yeah,
You're
yes.
not my partner.
I know
That's
that.
100%.
I know, but I'm going to prove you by the end of the weekend. I could be that second fiddle. All right. I could be useful to you,
Okay.
but I'll be Jimmy Cassidy's partner because I'll just tell him I'm going to, kill myself if he doesn't take me as his partner. And then he'll be like,
Jesus
"Oh, I'm
Christ.
sorry, man.
All right,
I don't want you to do that."
last thoughts. I just want the Sixers to fuck on Ben Simmons tonight.
I don't care about
And
Simmons anymore.
Joel Embiid is literally already just dominating him. Like,
Yeah.
so whatever.
He's tall, by the way. A lot of people don't say that.
Uh,
No, a lot of
don't
people
mess with
forget
it.
to mention that how tall
Yeah, he's
Joel Embiid is.
He's pretty tall.
but,
Dude, he's got to be packing.
All right.
well,
Anyway,
yeah,
it's
have
gotta
you-
be.
Have you
Look
ever
out
seen
for-
the Instagram picture?
Look out for the podcast
But I
over the
want to see
weekend.
the whole thing.
And go
Boom,
Birds.
boom,
Go
boom.
fucking
Let's
Birds,
go
baby.
Birds.
Let's bring it home.
We'll see you on
the
Friday
road
night.
to victory.